Welcome to Gokul Global University. Today we are going to discuss the provision regarding elections under Indian Constitution. In this chapter, the law as to the constitution, powers, duties, functions, etc. of the Election Commission will be discussed. These provisions have recently assumed great importance in view of all the active role played by this commission. Now let us understand how Election Commission constituted. The Election Commission consists of the Chief Election Commissioner and other election commissioners, all of whom are appointed by the President. The Chief Election Commissioner acts as the chairman of the Election Commission, and this provision is made under Article 324 subclause 2 of the Indian Constitution. Now let us understand the function of Election Commission. Article 324 subclause 1. The superintendency, direction and the control of the preparation of the electoral rolls for and the conduct of all the election to the parliament and to the legislature of every state and of election to the office of president and vice president, including the appointment of election tribunals for the decision of doubts and disputes arising out of or in connection with the elections to the parliament and to the legislature of states are vested in the Election Commission. Article 324 thus provide for the creation of an independent body with executive power to decide certain matters. When read with the Article 103 and 192, it becomes clear that in case of doubts and dispute as to qualification of the members of legislature, the president or the governor takes a decision in the constitution with the election commission. But in case of doubt relating to the elections, the same is to be decided by the election tribunals appointed by the election commission. Though there is no specified provision in the constitution for the appeals from the decision of election tribunals, it is possible to seek judicial review of decisions of all tribunals, including an election tribunals, by means of extraordinary remedies of appeals to the Supreme Court by special leave under Article 136 or by a petition of High Court for an appropriate order under Article 226. This power of the Supreme Court and the High Court cannot be fettered in any way by any legislation. Now let us understand the jurisdiction of Supreme Court over election tribunals. The following are the grounds on which the Supreme Court can interfere with the election tribunals: where the tribunal does not perform its duty under the law, where the tribunals misdirect itself upon the question, where the tribunal sets aside an election upon a wrong view of the law, where it sets aside the entire election, where it wrongly holds a candidate to be a guilty of corrupt practice, or where its decision is without jurisdiction. So these are the grounds where the Supreme Court can interfere with the election tribunals. Now let us understand the jurisdiction of High Court over election tribunals. The High Court may also interfere on the ground that the tribunal has acted without jurisdiction, or that it has not performed its duty under the law, or it has acted against the principle of natural justice, or there is an error of the face of the record. So these are the grounds where High Court can interfere with the election tribunals. Now let us understand the designation of regional commissioner. Before each general election to the House of People and to the Legislative Assembly of each state, the President may appoint regional commissioners after the consultation with the Election Commission to assist the election commission in the performance of its function. The president has power to determine the condition of services and term of office of the election commissioner and the regional commissioner. The condition of the service of the chief election commission cannot be varied to his disadvantage after his appointment. Now let us understand the removal of election commissioner. Election commissioner, how and when removed? The chief election commissioner cannot be removed from his office except in like manner on the like ground as a judge of Supreme Court. In other words, he cannot be removed from his office except by an order of the president passed after an address by each house of parliament supported by the majority of total membership of that house and by the majority of not less than 2/3 of the members of the house present and voting has been presented to the president in the same session for such removal on the ground of provide misbehavior or incapacity. For this purpose, Parliament may regulate the procedure for the presentation of an address and for the investigation after proof of his misbehavior or incapacity. Any other election commissioner or a regional commissioner cannot be removed from office except the recommendation of the chief election commissioner. Advisory function of election commissioner. If any question arises as to whether a member of either house of parliament has become subject to any of the disqualification mentioned in article 102, the question is to be referred for the decision of the president and his decision is final. However, before giving any such decision, the president has to consult the election commission. Similarly, if any question arises as to the whether a member of a house of a legislature of a state has become subject to any of the qualification, the question is to be referred for the decision of governor, whose decision is final, but after the consulting the election commission. Article 324 provides for the creation of independent body named the Election Commission, which has the following exclusive power: superintendence, direction and control of the preparation of electoral rolls for all election to parliament and the legislature of every state, and of election of the office of president and vice president, conduct all the above election, and appointment of election tribunals for the decision of doubts and dispute arising out or in connection with the election to the parliament and to the legislature. It will thus be seen that the entire machinery of election of the union as well as of the states is placed in the hand of a centralized body, the election commission, which alone is entitled to issue directives to returning officer and other engaged in the preparation and revision of electoral rolls, so that no injustice may be done to any citizen by any local government. The commission is assisted by regional commissioner, but they are not under the control of the state governments, but under the control of the election commission, and they are not liable to be removed except on the recommendation of chief election commissioner. It may also be noted that the election commission is independent of any executive control, in as much as member of the election commission, including regional commissioner, cannot be removed by the president except on the recommendation of chief election commissioner, and the chief election commissioner cannot be removed except in the manner provided in article 124 subclause 4 relating to the removal of a judge of Supreme Court. Now let us discuss the general provisions as to elections. There is one general electoral roll for every territorial constituencies for election to either House of Parliament or to the House or either House of Legislature of a state, and no person shall be ineligible for inclusion in any such roll for any constituency on the ground only of religion, race, caste, sex, or any of them. The elections to the House of People and to the Legislative Assembly for every state are on the basis of adult suffrage, that is to say, every person who is citizen of India and who is not less than 18 years of age and is not otherwise disqualified on the ground of non-residency, unsoundness of mind, crime or corrupt or illegal practices is entitled to be registered as a voter at any such election. It may be noted that the adoption of universal adult suffrage without any qualification either of literacy, property, taxation or the like is a bold experiment in India, having regards to the vast extent of the country and its population. Parliament may make provision with respect to all the matters relating to in connection with the election to either House or the Legislature of State, including the preparation of electoral rolls, the delimitation of constituencies and all other matters necessary for securing the due constitution of such house or houses. Any law relating to the delimitation of constituencies or the validity of the allotment of seats to such constituencies made under Article 327 cannot be called in the question in any court. Similarly, the legislature of state may make provision with respect to all matters relating to or in connection with the election to the House or either House of the Legislature of State, including preparation of electoral rolls and all other matters necessary for securing the due constitution of such a house or houses, the validity of any law relating to the delimitation of constituencies or the allotment of seats to such constituencies made under Article 328 cannot be called in question in any court. Further, no election to the either House of Parliament or to the House or either House of the Legislature of State can be called in question except by an election petition present to such authority and in such a manner as may be provided for by or under any law made by the appropriate legislature. Now here is a special provision as to election of Prime Minister and Speaker, but it is deleted from the Constitution. Article 329, which was introduced by the 39th Amendment 1975, provided that the election of the Parliament in case of the Prime Minister or the Speaker could not be called in question except before such authority or body and in such a manner as may be provided for by any law made by Parliament. Article 329A was however deleted by the 44th Amendment in 1978. So this is all about election. Thank you.